Hello, and welcome to practice. My name is Casey. This is going to be a practice where we're kind of focusing on a cross-reference flow. So we'll do some different crossing positions with the legs and just see how that shape kind of changes the experience rather than a more traditional variation. And so when you're ready, you can go ahead and just find your way into a child's pose, and that's where we'll get started. So you might bring your knees wide, about as wide as your mat, your toes together behind you, your hips back towards your heels, and then start to snuggle your chest in between your legs. And if this is too much flexion on your hips to get started, you're welcome to have your hips higher up. And you might slowly let your forehead start to settle towards the floor, reach your arms out ahead of you. And just feel the expansion and the softening of your rib cage ballooning in each direction as you inhale. And then coming softly towards your center as you exhale. A couple more steadying breaths. Starting to draw air in and let air out through your nose. And then nice and slow, start to walk your hands over to the right side. And you might place your right hand on top of your left, kind of draw your left hand away, really extending the space from your fingertips to the hip. Feeling this extra space and all the intercostal muscles and tissue in between your ribs. Having a little more space for your lungs. And coming back through center, walking your hands over. And then over to the left side, maybe placing your right hand on top of your left and drawing yourself out a little further. Or left hand on top of right, excuse me. Breathing some space into your right lung. Okay, walk yourself back through center. And then start to walk your hands just a little bit back towards your knees. Just find a little bit of an arc in your spine here. Maybe you turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then find a little bit of a round, a tuck of your tailbone spreading across your shoulder blades. And then rise up to stand onto hands and knees, figure or 4-point kneeling position. Take a moment to get a little bit settled into your shape here. And then we're just going to iron it out a little bit. So I'm going to walk my hands a little forward of my shoulders and just start to bring my hips forward and back. And you can go as fast or as slow as you would like to here. I quite like going a little bit faster. Just super clean and clear. Forward, back. Okay. And then find yourself in a neutral position. Walk your hands a little bit back so that they're underneath your shoulders. Reach your tailbone and your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then push down into the floor to round in your spine, spreading across your shoulder blades. 2 more times at your own pace. And then we're just going to start to make some spirals with the upper body. So you're going to bring your belly down as if you're going into a cow spine, and then bring it over to one side. Push down into the floor to spread your shoulder blades, cat spine, and bring your ribs over to the left side. And just keep moving like so and be less concerned with the look and more concerned with the feel. I like to imagine that my upper body is like a spoon kind of scooping out all the edges of a jar. And then start to go in the opposite direction. You might bring your head into the movement. Okay, and then settle back towards center. Walk your hands a little bit forward again, and then you're going to start to just bring your hips over to the left side, stretching out through the side of your thigh and then up and over to the right side. And we'll just keep moving like so, bringing some weight into the hands, kind of patting your hands on the ground as you go one side and the other. So similar to the shape we were doing before, using your core to support yourself and oscillating from side to side. Now just clean and clear, going from one hip to the other. Okay, and then one more each side. Oh, okay, coming up through center. We'll combine those two movements of the hips. So you can bring your hips forward, over to one side, and then back towards your heels, and then over to the other side. A couple of really big circles, one direction. And the other. Letting your fingers spread nice and wide as you bring weight into your hands. Okay. And then coming through center, tuck your toes under and lift your knees up, coming into a downward facing dog. And I'm just going to take a little shake here. You might take a little shake too, just lifting and lowering your heels, shaking your hips. Okay. And then starting to settle into your form. You might be really pushing down through the inner seam of your palms, grounding down through the knuckles of your hands, gripping with your fingertips, bringing your low ribs in so they're not flaring out, keeping your core engaged, core breathing, and reaching your sitting bones up, up, up towards the ceiling. We'll take about 3 more breaths here, just settling into the shape, maybe still finding movement, maybe finding stillness. Okay, and then nice and slow, lift onto the balls of your feet. Turn your gaze between your thumbs at the top of your mat. Start to take a couple of really small, slow steps to get yourself to a forward fold. And you might even kind of sassy your hip from side to side as you walk. Okay, coming into your forward fold. Just let your upper body be super heavy over your legs. You might wrap your arms around one another and kind of use the clasp of your arms, this shape of your arms, to pull yourself down. Crown of your head is heavy. Arms are heavy, heavy, heavy. Maybe finding a little sway. Decompressing through the spine, growing longer. Knees are soft. And then release your arms towards the floor. Again, let your fingertips be heavy. The crown of your head is heavy as you push down into the floor. Start to roll yourself up, up, up to standing. Take your time. Fingertips stay heavy the whole time. Okay. As you come all the way up, let your arms travel out wide and up. Maybe your gaze turns up towards the ceiling, and then take your right hand around your left wrist, reach up and overhead. Side bending to the right, grounding down evenly through your 2 feet. And then let your arm come down in front of your face, and let both arms reach up. Left hand onto right wrist, reach up and over to the left. And maybe let your left arm come down by your side, right arm stays reaching. And then arm can come all the way down and around. Inhale, both arms reach up towards the sky. On your exhale, turn yourself to the right, let your arms tee out to the sides. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, up through center. As you exhale, arms can go wide, hips are reaching back in space, hinge forward over your legs. Inhale to halfway lift, reach the crown of your head forward. Take a big step back with your left foot, land your left knee onto the ground, and then inhale, bring your hips down any amount, turn your gaze forward and up. As you exhale, draw your hips back in space, flex your toes towards you, and fold in. Inhale, come forward to a lunge. And then on your exhale, start to twist yourself to the right. You might use your hand to support yourself on your knee. And then come a little bit back through center. I'm going to shorten the space between my legs, kick my left heel in towards my hip, and turn my shin off of the mat, and then slide my right leg all the way down my mat. Reorient a little bit. And then reach right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Maybe turn your gaze up towards your thumb. And you might reach all the way up and overhead as well and stretch out through the side of your body. And then turn your gaze towards the floor. Bring both hands down. Turn everything back onto your mat. Step yourself back to a plank position. Take one push up here, lowering anything down. Pushing straight back up. Knees come down. Hips back towards heels. Slide your way forward and through. Land your upper body down onto the ground. Lift your feet off the ground. Lift your chest and shoulders off the ground. Hands are light on the floor. Collarbones spreading wide. Going long from north to south, squeezing in, and then lowering down, pushing up and back to downward facing dog. Fingers are spreading wide. Feel the space between your fingers, pushing out through your hands. One more breath here. Turn your gaze between your thumbs, lift onto the balls of your feet. Take a couple of steps or a little hop to get yourself to a forward fold. Let your arms be heavy towards the floor. Slow push down into your feet to roll yourself all the way up. Arms can travel out wide and up. And then left hand can land by your side. Reach your right arm up and overhead. Arm can come all the way down. Both arms reach up. Right arm comes down, left arm reaches up and overhead. Arms can come down, both arms reach all the way up. This time, interlace your hands above your head, reach your palms away from you, draw your shoulder blades down your back. Tailbone is reaching a little bit towards the floor, and then turn yourself to the right. Come back through center, turn yourself to the left. Come back through center, let your arms go out wide, hinge from your hips and fold forward over your legs. Inhale to halfway lift. Take a big step back with your right foot, land your knee down onto the floor. Inhale brings your hips down any amount, turn your gaze forward and up. Draw your hips back, flex your front toes, fold forward over your front leg. Come back to your lunge, bring your left hand onto your thigh, turn yourself to the left. And then you might shorten the space a little bit between your legs and slide your left leg all the way down your mat. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Tailbone is reaching towards the back of your knee. Maybe you reach your arm up and overhead, take a side stretch. And then gaze turns towards the floor. Both hands can land on the floor. Everything turns back. Step your way back to plank. Knees can be lifted or lowered. One push up. Knees come down. Hips back towards heels. Slide your way through. Inhale, lift chest. Spread your collarbones. Lift your feet off the ground. Locust. Maybe your arms reach back in space. And then hands can come down. Push yourself back to a downward facing dog. Okay. Step your left foot a little closer to your right, kick your right heel in towards your hip, and then lift your knee up towards the ceiling. Super active, like you're squeezing a block between your knee and your foot. Excuse me, your knee and your foot and your hip. Draw your knee in towards your nose, step your right foot forward on your mat. Lower your left knee down onto the ground. Inhale, this time rise up to your low lunge, arms reach up alongside your ears. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward over your front leg. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale draws you forward, lifting up. And exhale, reaching back. 1 more time. Okay, this time, back toes are tucked under. Push down to lift your back knee up as you rise all the way up to a crescent lunge. Arms reach up alongside your ears. Pulling your 2 feet together, lifting your back leg from your inner thigh. And then arms can come down, around, and behind you. Lean your chest forward on a diagonal. Interlace your hands behind your sacrum. Shoulder blades draw together behind you. Reach your hands away from you. And then slowly start to turn your chest to the right. One more breath here. Release your hands. Bring your left hand down to the floor. Reach your right arm all the way up towards the sky. And then bring your hands down to frame your front foot. You're going to pull yourself forward and cross your left ankle behind your right. Walk your feet so they're about hips width distance apart from side to side. Inhale, little halfway lift, find some length, and then exhale and fold in. Slowly stand all the way up, keeping the cross at your legs. Arms reach all the way up. Right hand clasps left wrist, lean over to the left. And then nice and slow, fold yourself all the way down. Inhale to halfway lift. Slide your left foot down your mat. Turn your back heel in and down, and then rise all the way up to a warrior 2. Pulling your 2 feet together, settling down into your shape. Gaze turns out over your front hand. 1 more breath here. Bring your right forearm down onto your thigh. Reach your left arm all the way up and overhead, side ankle. You can either stay here, you might reach your hand to the inside of your foot or wrap your hand around your ankle. 1 more breath here. Turn your gaze to the floor. Bring your left hand down to the floor, a little forward of your left shoulder, and then start to turn all 10 toes to the right. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. There's a supported side plank. You can either stay here or reach your hips towards the floor. Reach your arm back towards your left foot. And we'll rainbow a couple of times. If you're coming along, pushing down, reaching up. And 2 more times. Coming down, lifting up. Last time. Coming down and lifting up. And then turning yourself back onto your mat. All right, listen close. From here, you're going to take your right foot and just slide it down your mat in front of your left foot. Roll yourself forward to a plank position so that your left foot is floating off the ground. You're just on your right foot as if both of your legs are one leg. Take 1 push up here, laying anything down, pushing straight back up, and then hips reach back and up. Walk your feet about hips width distance from side to side. Find your downward facing dog with these crossed legs. And 2 more breaths here. And it's as if your inner thighs are reaching back towards the back of your mat. So this is a little bit of a funny cue, but it's as if your legs were like a Pez dispenser and you're shooting a Pez back through your legs. Funny cue, but very effective. One more breath here. Okay. And then take your left leg, sweep it up towards the ceiling, find a little stretch, and then land your 2 feet, one right next to the other. Roll yourself forward to a plank. Lower yourself down onto your belly. Untuck your toes, take your back bend of choice. And then make your way all the way back to a downward facing dog. Okay, and we'll do the same thing. Other side, kick your left heel in towards your hip, lift your left knee up towards the sky. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Draw your knee in towards your nose. Push the floor away. Step your left foot forward, lower your right knee down. Inhale, rise all the way up to your lunge. Exhale, draw your hips back in space. Arms reach back, folding forward 2 more times. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, drawing back. One more time. This time, press down. Lift your back knee up, pulling your back leg towards straight, crescent lunge. Pushing out through your feet, drawing your legs together, finding a magnetism between your legs, and then on your next exhale, hands come down around and behind you. Try and find the opposite interlace of your fingers. Shoulder blades draw together behind you, and then start to turn your chest to the left. One more breath here. Slowly release, bring your right hand down to the floor, left arm reaches up to the sky. And then both hands come down to frame your front foot. Pull yourself forward, step your right foot behind your left. Inhale to halfway lift, crown of your head reaches forward. Exhale and fold in. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Arms can travel out wide and up. Left hand clasps right wrist. Lean yourself over to the left. One more breath here. Inhale comes up through center and then hinge from your hips. Fold yourself forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Slide your left foot back on your mat. Turn your back heel in and down and then rise all the way up for your warrior 2. Settle into your feet. Turn your gaze forward. 2 more breaths here. Fingertips are wide. Shoulders are over your pelvis. Okay. Come forward, forearm can land onto your thigh, right arm can reach up and overhead. Either stay here or slide your hand down towards the floor, block or ankle. 2 breaths here. Turn your gaze to the floor, right hand reaches forward of your front foot, lift onto the ball of your back foot, and then turn all 10 toes to the left. Left arm reaches all the way up to the sky. Either stay or rainbow. Down, push down, lift up. 3 more times. Down, push down, lift up. 2 and 1. And then both hands can come down to frame your front foot. Slide your left foot back in front of your right. Come forward into your plank with crossed legs. Your right foot is floating off the ground. 1 push up here. Lower down, push back up. And then hips reach up and back to cross-legged downward facing dog. Shooting the Pez dispenser back between your legs. 1 more breath here. Okay. Left foot can come to the center of your mat, right leg sweeps up towards the ceiling, and then land your right toes. Roll yourself forward to plank. Lower yourself down to your belly. Inhale into your back bend of choice. And then coming all the way back to a downward facing dog. All right, one more little flow here. Inhale, lift onto the balls of your feet. Turn all 10 toes over to the right. Start to bring your hips towards the earth. One foot is in front of the other. Right arm can reach up towards the sky. We're in a side plank. Maybe you step your right foot on top of your left. Okay. And then we're going to take a big, slow step to the front of the mat with the right knee. Feel free to lower this bottom knee down like so, if it's better for your body. Otherwise, stay lifted. Lift your leg up, draw your knee in towards your elbow. Turn, 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 turn. Nice, slow, big step forward. Inhale and pull yourself forward to your cross-legged forward fold. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Arms can come out wide and up. This time, right hand comes onto left wrist, but you're going to take your right foot and slide it off of your mat so that you have even more space to side bend. Okay, inhale, come up through center. Take your left foot and just slide it back onto your mat towards the back right corner. So you've got this big cross of your legs, and then slowly lower your back knee down onto the ground. You're in this big cross reference low lunge. We're here for 3 breaths. Maybe your palms press and you turn your gaze all the way up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. And then arms can come down to the floor. Lift your back knee up and fold forward over your front leg. Hopefully getting into a little bit different line of tension now that you've got this big cross of the legs and pyramid. Just noticing how it changes the stretch. One more breath here. Okay. Last little bit. Inhale to halfway lift. I'm going to step my back foot in slightly, a little bit more in line, one foot with the other. Left hand stays grounded on the floor. Right hand comes onto right hip. Pull your crown of your head forward to traction, a little bit of length in your spine, and then start to turn yourself to the right. Maybe reach your arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And this bottom hand, if it's on the floor or a block, you're using it to gently pull a little more length into your spine, lifting your rib cage out of your hips. One more breath here. And then both hands can come down to frame your front foot. Soften the bend into your front knee. You're going to slide your right foot back in front of your left. Roll yourself forward to your cross-legged plank position. Left foot is floating. One push up, lower down. Push straight back up. Come back into your downward facing dog. One more breath here. Sweep your left leg up towards the ceiling, stretch out, and then step your 2 feet together. Even yourself out on your mat. You can stay or come forward through a vinyasa, rolling forward, one push-up, or down to your belly, and then coming into your back bend of choice. And coming up and back to your downward facing dog. Very into the push-ups today. And a lot of push-ups in this practice. Okay. Feet can come together towards the center of your mat. Lift onto the balls of your feet, and then start to come forward to a plank position and roll yourself over onto the outside edge of your right foot. Maybe your left arm reaches all the way up towards the ceiling. You're screwing a jar on underneath your right hand, shoulders locked onto your back. Okay, always the option to lower the bottom knee. It's the same transition, just with the knee down if you want it. Otherwise, you're lifting your left leg up, drawing your knee in towards your elbow, super slow motion step to the front of your mat, and then pull yourself forward, slide your right leg behind your left, fold forward over your cross legs. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Arms can come out wide and up. Left hand onto right wrist. Step your right foot off your mat to the left. Big side bend. Come up through center and just slide your right foot back towards the left corner. And then slowly lower your knee all the way down to the ground. Cross-reference low lunge. I'm even walking my foot further over to the right to really find the cross of the legs. Makes it so challenging to balance. Just see how you go. Maybe your palms press and you work to bring your gaze all the way up towards the ceiling. It is so different on this side for me. Oh, one more breath here. Hands come all the way down to frame your front foot. Draw your front leg, push down, lift your back knee up, then draw your front leg towards straight and fold in. And see how it feels to try and ground down through your big toe mound on that left foot. You always want to lift it up. One more breath here. Okay. Halfway lift, I'm going to even out the space between my feet a little bit and step my right foot a little more directly behind my left in line. Right hand can stay grounded, left hand on the left hip. Draw a little length into your spine and then start to revolve to the left. Maybe you keep your hand on your hip the whole time. Maybe you reach it all the way up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Ooh, and then both hands. You can come down, frame your front foot. Slide your left foot back in front of your right. Roll yourself forward to plank, one push-up. And then up and back to downward facing dog. Stand onto your left foot, sweep your right leg up towards the ceiling, and then step your 2 feet together. Lift onto the balls of your feet, soften your knees down onto the ground. Walk yourself towards the right corner of your mat, and then just slide your left arm forward and bow in. Push down into your right hand, lift yourself up, walk yourself through center and over to the left side, slide your left hand forward, bow in. Push down, lift up, walk yourself back to center, and then walk yourself back to stand onto your knees, and then sit down onto your heels. Okay, we'll take a couple of variations of camel pose before going down into the rest of our cool down. And you might bring your hands behind you, fingertips can point any direction, and just start by drawing your shoulder blades together behind you, turning your gaze up towards the ceiling, spreading your collarbones. And then coming through center, neutral, palms face up or down on your thighs. Okay, we'll do that one more time. You can stay with the same variation, or you might bring your fingertips behind you, lift your hips up to tuck your tailbone a little bit in towards your knees, and then push down into your shins to lift your hips off the ground. Maybe you go from here and walk your hands a little bit towards your feet. Nice and slow reverse the action. Sit your hips all the way down onto your heels. Palms can face up on your thighs. A couple of breaths here. You know what? Let's take that one more time, actually. I just want to go in one more time. So maybe your hands start behind you. Start by lifting your tailbone, tucking it towards the backs of your knees, and then pushing yourself up. Maybe walk yourself forward, holding onto your ankles. Hips reach forward. Maybe your gaze turns up towards the ceiling. If it's all right for your neck, you might turn your gaze all the way back behind you. And then nice and slow, reach your hips all the way down to your heels come out. Palms can face up or down on your thighs. Okay. And then sit yourself to one side of your heels, bring your legs out in front of you. We're going to take a little Pilates core exercise so you can bring your legs out wide. Okay. Arms can come out to a T, and then you're going to turn yourself to the right. Right hand can come behind you. Left arm's reaching towards your foot, and then you're going to try and reach past your pinky on the right side. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Come up through center, turn over to the left, reach out for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Come up through center, and then bring your hands down between your legs. Walk yourself forward and fold in. I think that's usually taught with a fair bit closer together legs during the wide leg variation. It's so interesting to see how doing some of these different variations of traditional shapes lands in the body. For me, when I first was trying the different cross leg variations, I was like, I do not like this. And then it pretty quickly started to grow on me. And then now it started to feel kind of spherical, like circular, and somehow connected in a way that it doesn't feel with the traditional variations. And I wouldn't say that I necessarily like it better, because I don't think that's true, but just that it offers a different kind of way for me to relate with my body, a different experience. We're going to be here for just 2 more breaths. And you can walk yourself all the way back up. Bring your legs together and out in front of you. And then we're just going to roll all the way down. So I'm going to extend my legs, flex my toes back towards me, and find a C curl, rolling down. Oh, and then land on your back. My hair out of the way. Okay. And then you can bend your knees, plant your feet onto the floor. Feet wide, and then let your knees kind of swish and sway over to one side and to the other. And let your knees land to the left. Bring your left hand onto your right rib and extend your right arm all the way up alongside your ear. And you might even take your ankle to the outside, your left ankle to the outside of your right knee. Breathing into your right lung. Okay, come all the way up through center. Arms can come back out to a T, and then knees can come over to the right side. And you might just leave your knees like so, or you might cross your right ankle over your left, and then bring your right hand onto your left rib, reach your left arm all the way up alongside your ear. A couple of breaths here. Okay. And come up through center. Maybe draw your knees in towards your chest as you do. Find a little rock from side to side or squeeze in. Maybe a couple of circles. So nice. Okay. And then you can just let your feet land onto the floor. Extend your legs all the way out long, or find a different position for your body that feels more comfortable and restful to you right now. Maybe staying on your back or on your side or on your belly or seated. Maybe even standing. And then just steadying your breath. And letting it soften to a bit more of a passive rhythm. Feeling the connection between your body and the floor. Letting your breath flow in and out and wash through your body like a wave. And you might stay resting for longer if you have the time. Or you might start to reawaken your body. Getting ready for the rest of your day, wherever you're headed next. And I will leave you here. And my name is Casey. I'm coming to you from Klingit, the ancestral homeland of the Takuquan and Aquan people. I'm very grateful to be able to practice and facilitate here. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.